Take one. Artocast.
Is that a real name?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready?
Goddamn right, it's like a librarian.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, check, testing 1, 2.
Check 1, check 3.
All right.
Where are we at?
We're here, somewhere. Can I see it? There we go. All right.
Artocast.
Yeah, little lighter out.
What episode is this going to be?
11.
11.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is there something about 11? Anything?
If you add 1 plus 1, it equals number 2.
But if
Studio number 2.
Oh, it's true. Studio number 2. But doesn't ones, if you muddy them into ones, you can 1 times something is the same thing. So if it was 6, 6, 6, does that work? I don't know my math.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going.
I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a full moon and we got a wizard here today. It's pretty special. We got people walking in and out. It's all good. Let them get a cold one. You have any shout outs this time?
No, we will do some shout outs. Studio number 2, Baldwin Radio Factory. We're here at the historic Baldwin Radio Factory.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of good energy here today.
Oh, the energy's. It's going to raise.
Yeah. Somehow we always find ourselves with the power of the moon. I call it moon moments.
There is moon moments.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy right now. So go ahead and make the introduction.
Well, I was just asking you. I mean, how's Ronch going over there and stuff?
Ronch?
That's a shout out. How's Ronch?
Shout out to Ronch.
Is he doing all right? You live right there in the neighborhood.
I don't check up on him.
You don't go anywhere.
How's the tree?
You just come
How's
straight
the tree
here.
house?
The tree house, I don't go there.
Woodpecker?
No, we're not talking about. I knew it was go that way. But yes, so there's someone better here than me.
Yeah.
All the whatever a wizard does, we're gonna probably learn about it from Ogden. So everybody, the Wizard of Ogden. Okay, come on, come on.
The Wizard
of Ogden. This will be better than you think.
I've been on podcasts before. I think the more relaxed you are, the more natural you're talking.
Yeah.
It's easier to engage. Like, now you guys have a chill vibe.
Yeah. So we're here with the Wizard of Ogden. Shout out, give us some shout outs to your hashtags, Facebook, or anything like that.
Yeah, check me out on Instagram, Wizard of Ogden, Facebook, Wizard of Ogden. You'll see me around town all over Utah, reading cards from coffee shops to various venues, like Vibes up in Ogden. Should give them a shout out. They're a store that sells a lot of cool metaphysical products, and I do private readings there on occasion. Sometimes people want it at their house. Sometimes people want readings in a coffee shop. Depends. I just kind of am adaptable for my clientele.
Yeah.
So, I'm around Utah a lot.
Hell yeah. Were you born and raised here?
I was born and raised in Ogden, Utah. Spent a little bit of time outside of Utah. In junior high, I got in trouble and had to leave and live with my mom in New Mexico for 8th, 9th, and 10th grade.
What part of New Mexico?
Belen, New Mexico. It's 40 miles south of Albuquerque.
Ooh, so you're right in between, what's the sweet place down there? Santa Fe.
Santa Fe is a little further northeast. I did a lot of construction. My first construction job was in Santa Fe.
Nice.
When I was 13. Framing. Yeah.
I like Santa Fe. I stayed there for like a week once.
It's a beautiful, beautiful part of New Mexico. I really like New Mexico. I had a good time there. A lot of good friends. People who were really good influences at a really delicate time in my life that I reconnected with later after Facebook. And it's like these people that I met in high school, they really helped me get out of my Utah culture.
Yeah.
By leaving for a couple years.
Sweet.
It was the beginnings of it, I think, seeing the world outside of Utah. I was raised LDS.
Oh, nice.
I went on a mission to Detroit, Michigan, Spanish speaking.
My brother went there.
Oh, no shit.
Not Spanish speaking.
What year?
Oh, damn, it was back in the 80s, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I was in the 90s.
Actually, he went to Lansing, which is close to basically
There's
Detroit.
2 missions in Detroit, the Lansing mission, and the Detroit mission didn't open up for a long time. It was closed for a long time. And But I was there for 99 to 2002. Detroit had a huge impact on my life.
Yeah.
If I didn't go on a mission, which is ironic, I don't think I would be a wizard today.
No.
Because I studied my ass off and read myself out of the church, or the LDS church. And that was the beginning of the Wizard, was actually an LDS missionary in Detroit, Michigan, which is kind of ironic. But,
Yeah.
I ran into people who knew about the history of the church that I wasn't presented with that information growing up. So I had a whole paradigm shift out there, and it opened the door for esoteric mystery schools.
There you go.
I started studying Rosicrucians.
You joined the Masons?
I haven't joined the Masons, but I read a lot of their published works. I study the hell out of the Masons' works. Also Rosicrucians, the Eleusinian mystery schools, the Ogoatic mystery schools. I'm a nerd, but I'm eclectic. After being subjugated to such a staunch hierarchy, I can't do a hierarchy anymore.
You're well versed. I mean, a lot of the stuff you said. I mean, I've read into that stuff too. Rosicrucians, dude, it's interesting stuff for sure. Let's start out. Let's go into art.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about deeper things. Tell us how you got into art.
Oh man, art started as early as elementary school, just doodling with a pen. I used to just fill up notebooks because I would just be. Class would be too slow, and so I'd be doodling, and I would fill up pages with ink, just tiny little drawings, just tiny, super detailed drawings, and I threw every single piece away. I had such self-doubt issues that after I was done with the piece, it was instantly in the garbage. Nothing was perfect, so it was gone.
Yeah.
And it took me, because I've always drawn, I've always tried to paint. It took me till my late 20s to start keeping my own art, to get over that. I wouldn't say over it, where you beat yourself up as an artist. Still do it, but I'm keeping my art now. And my daughter actually was a huge part of that, because I started keeping her art. Everything she draws, I've kept since she's 12 now. My oldest daughter's 12, and that really helped me realize that it's a progress, it's a process, and it's learning, and I'm okay, I can appreciate that stage of where I was as an artist. So I would say my painting started in tattoo shops. My study of, I managed tattoo shops from 2003 when I got back from my mission. I started smoking weed and started getting tattooed. I mean, that was
sounds familiar.
The back of my missionary journal has a marijuana leaf taped to it. I was I knew okay, this was bullshit that I was told not to do this. I'm going to smoke some weed when I get home. And I just started doing the stuff that I wanted to do, Cool. It took me some time to get out, and to really full bore social suicide myself. But
how did you get into painting?
The tattoo shop, I started getting tattooed, and ended up becoming friends with tattoo artists. Everybody thinks your tattoo artist is your buddy. And I just became hanging around for a long time, to the point where I was managing shops. I was managing my friend's shop, which really, I was keeping a heroin addict alive, basically all I was doing with that guy. The first tattoo artist I hung around and started, just being an apprentice type shit. But
cool.
It was my first tattoo artist apprenticeship was just bullshit. It was a terrible guy. I won't even name his name, but through him, I met my now best friend, who taught me how to paint, Brent Atwood. Brent Atwood.
Shout out to Brent Atwood.
Shout out to Brent Atwood. Dude had a huge influence on my life.
He's coming on soon, right?
Maybe. Yeah. He was a huge influence on me, just as a friend, but artistically, we go to art school still. He comes over, we'll watch library movies. We were watching Ryan Johnson the other night, How to Draw a Rabbit. I don't know if you've seen that. Dude fucking blew my mind. That dude's amazing. I didn't know who Ryan Johnson was before that movie, and now I'm thinking about him every day. So, tattoo shops, drawing tattoos. I would do stencils and stuff, handle the phones, and watching and being in that environment, I realized I don't want a tattoo. that's not what I want to do. I wanted to learn tattoo so I could learn to paint. So I just skipped it.
Kind of a purist.
Yeah, I was like, why don't I just go paint? Because that's what I really want to do. I just didn't know how to start it. So that's where it began. Somewhere around 2003 is where I was really starting to learn how to draw, starting to learn how to, build background to foreground, build dark to light. Just tricks that I never would have picked up on my own. I credit all that to Brent Atwood.
Cool.
Late night section.
Does he have an Instagram page?
MK Ultra
Studio. Because I love following artists, so I don't think I have your page, but I'll follow it.
Yeah, I'm the Wizard of Ogden.
Tell us a bit about your subject matter in your art. What are you painting?
It's very expressive. Sometimes it's abstract. It's really a lot like yours, actually. A lot of skulls, a lot of diamonds.
Skulls sell, man.
I love skulls.
Skulls sell.
I drew so many skulls at the tattoo shop and so many diamonds, just doodling that it's easy to paint. I mean, you draw 100 of something.
Oh yeah.
You can put a brush stroke to it. So there was a time where I was just painting big skull portraits. Mm-hmm. I was really struggling. I was barely alive, and I was just like, well, the ultimate truth is, that's what you are, is death. And it's just like this existential drive to at least produce something. And so in my darkest struggles, I was painting a lot of skulls. Now I'm doing more sigil work.
Nice.
With my arts, lately, I've been doing a lot of beach scenes, like a silhouette beach scene. I'll start out with a background. I'll do a crazy dark, because I want it to be like a night sky, and then I just line out a beach, a silhouette of a beach and a boat and a palm tree and some birds, and splatter some white on it. I've made about 10 of those. I've painted a Ben Lomond. Really anything that. It's like a project will jump in my head, and I'm obsessed with it and can't stop till it's done.
You gotta bust it out.
That's exactly.
It's like busting a nut.
Exactly.
You just gotta get it out.
Exactly. Like we were talking about acrylic paints, it's slow dry. I have to. I will muddy a painting up because it's not drying fast enough. Yeah. So my biggest issue.
That is the mud factor. That is the mud factor with oil.
Right.
You can get really muddy really quick using oils.
Right.
So that's why I love acrylics. You can just
forever.
Layer.
They dry so crazy.
Boom, boom.
They're fun.
Yeah. So sweet, dude. Anything else you want to say about your art aspect?
Insane.
We know they all mesh into one.
They do.
Spirituality and art.
I'm. It's really an emotional tool. It's been more I make art that looks good to me. I've had art in galleries. I've had art for sale.
And have you sold?
Yeah, I've sold some things, but really, I'm making stuff that resonates with me, and I don't care about I don't really care if it sells. It's this is what I wanted to make.
That's the purest aspect. We've talked about that with other artists. Yeah. That's part of what we do. We're archiving people. There's so many artists that are just purists that are amazing that nobody knows about. We're not here to toot our horns, but we're just here to archive who you are, your art.
Well,
your kids might want to see this when you're dead. You never know.
You want to make what you want to make. You don't want to just make for others.
And I think if you're making something that resonates with you, it's going to resonate really deeply with the right people.
Yeah.
I think if you strike your chords, you're going to hit the right people too.
Yeah.
If you're making something for the imaginary audience, man, you're going to miss. I think. I think you might make something generic and you might sell it. It might match someone's IKEA shit in their home, but. Are you fulfilled as an artist? Are you happy? Do you feel good about that painting?
Yeah.
Because I make paintings and I'm just I'll stare at them they're for me.
Yeah.
I made that, but there's a Ben Lomond painting. It's a big mountain in Ogden. That thing is on my wall. I'm never selling that shit. I made it to look like a window.
Peak. I think I've seen that. I'm gonna have to come out there. I'll come out there and paint it with you.
Hell yeah, that'd be
just
rad.
Fucking paint outside or something.
That'd be cool.
Can you do that a lot? What you making the sign for?
That'd be rad.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to keep you here and make the interview too long. I did have a question here that a buddy of mine had me write down. What is the difference between a sorcerer and a wizard, in your opinion?
Semantics. Operational.
That's it?
Operational definition.
Is it a left hand or a right hand thing?
No, because I think a sorcerer, I think it's really just taste, like how you want to label yourself. Like people get so caught up in labels. I am a sorcerer. I'm a certified sorcerer in the sorcerer's book. Like I have a certificate that says I'm a sorcerer because I passed it.
Who signed it?
Art Blakely.
Is he a big wig?
Yeah, he's a guild master of the Sorcerer's Guild. I'm an admin in the Sorcerer's Guild. It's a Facebook group that started years and years ago.
Crazy.
It's grown pretty big. It's an international group. We have a bunch of admins, and it's a really eclectic group that our focus is like no bashing. Like it's a safe environment, an educational environment where, everybody respects everybody.
Yeah.
Like people are on different paths and they're following different things, but there's no bashing there. We're really strict about that. Like
my question is, I'm curious, is because I kind of get confused with that crowd sometimes with like the LARPing.
Right.
The LARPers, like is that guild like a LARPing kind of thing?
It's not a LARPing.
Or is it like,
occasionally we'll get a LARPer in there and it's just like they'll be asking for quests and shit, and they get clowned out pretty quick because we're pretty practical magic.
Cool,
like
cool.
We're posting shit of like, this is what I did today. This is my altar today. This is what I'm working on right now, and we share like real life stuff in that group, and so people get vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's a place where I feel safe to actually share the meaning of my sigil. Where I'll post my picture, my sigil online. I'll put it on Instagram and say, I made this.
Yeah.
And I'll post it in the Sorcerer's Guild, and I'm like, this is what I mean, and this is hidden in here.
Yeah.
And this, it's a place where I can be vulnerable, and I'm not going to get judged.
Some of that shit you're probably not supposed to reveal, though.
Depends.
There are certain symbols that you keep to yourself. You know what I mean?
For sure.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's also people can charge it remotely. Like when you share a sigil online, like people in the group are like, hey, I made this piece of art. This is what it's supposed to do.
Maybe that's what art is after all. It's just one sigil,
I think when people are really conveying emotion and they have intent and they're using energy and they're putting energy into something, that's exactly what that is. It's a talisman. It's a sigil.
Can you show Tully your sigils?
Sure.
Tully, take a look at these, man.
This is my spell book. I wrote it in a cipher, so like I'm not. There's a bunch of weed on it. It's on my altar.
Unmentioned one.
So like I did my spell book in runes. I'm comfortable sharing pictures of that online. I'm comfortable showing people that because unless you know runes, you can't read that. It's like it's a cipher.
Yeah, for sure.
Druids are supposed to, not reveal secrets. Make somebody work for the knowledge. And so if somebody has put in the effort to read runes, to code it, then the knowledge is there. Because I'm a person who thinks that I'm breaking away from the secrecy. I think the world is too dark and everything's too intense right now for magicians and workers of the craft to be silent anymore. It's safe enough to be open.
Yeah.
And I'm not like divulging, I'm not casting pearls before swine or anything, but I'm really trying to make things available because we really need to practice some shit. Like we really need to empower ourselves, rise up, and take some power back and empower ourselves. That's really, I think, the whole drive of what I do as the Wizard of Ogden is to uplift people, inspire them, to empower them, to really to help themselves to realize, I can do this too. The universe will answer me just like him. Like, it's not about me. Yeah. It's like I call myself the Wizard of Ogden. People don't understand a lot of times that I'm digging on myself.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz is a humbug. Yeah. He's a charlatan. He's not what people expect a wizard to be.
Yeah. And you're
I'm
not
saying that
you're
about
not behind
myself.
the veil either.
Right, I'm just me. I'm like, yeah, I might not be what you call a wizard, but I might be the wizard you need. I might be exactly what you need to help bring about information. Like it's a total bite on Frank Baum, like the comic. Like I didn't name myself the Wizard of Ogden. Actually, Brent Atwood did, because I was reading cards and stuff, but I would wear my cape. I'd wear my kilt. I was really exploring myself and my image and who I am and how I fit in this world, and I would wear my kilt and my cape around town. I didn't give a shit. And I came into the tattoo shop one day, and he to the tune of City of Compton, he's Wizard of Ogden. When I came in, I fucking
Wizard of Ogden.
It's like that is it. I went and bought the website. I went and made cards. I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm the Wizard of Ogden. Dude.
City of Compton, Wizard of Ogden.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
that's how I got
if you're out in the open about this, let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, let's talk.
Have you had any manifestations?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, do you mean like paranormal apparitions? Because
Let's
or
talk
like
about it all,
creating.
man. Let's
something.
bring it out.
I'm an open book. Yeah, I'm an open book. I don't have anything to hide. Like I think I've been hiding my whole life. So, like, have I seen things? Yeah, I've seen things. Even when I was a missionary, I had seen things. I was dealing with poltergeist activity as an 19-year-old in Michigan, and it was so crazy. I saw Loki when I was just home from my mission. I was having some really hard times, and I kept seeing this shadow person.
Crazy.
Out of the corner of my eye. I was just stressed. I was not congruent. My inside didn't match my outside. My beliefs didn't match my life. Like there's dissonance. And I kept seeing this shadow figure. Every time something would fuck up, every time something would happen, I would see this shadow figure and it was laughing. Just laughing at me, mocking me. Don't take yourself so seriously.
Jester or something.
He's like, don't take yourself so seriously. Don't take yourself so seriously. Let it slide. Let it slide. Like this thing was like this apparition was just really
telling you to chill the hell out.
Yeah, to let you go. Learn to laugh at things.
Yeah.
Like it's not as serious as you're making it. And looking back, I know who that was. At the time, I was thinking I might be just crazy. Like I'm having a mental breakdown. Going back, like that was Loki. That was totally the mischief maker. That was the guy who helped me break out of my whole paradigm. Like I had. So
I'm assuming you have some Nordic genes.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I did this crazy. I did 23andMe and found out something.
Everybody's doing that shit now.
I found out something.
Shout out 23andMe.
Yeah, go 23andMe helping us learn about ourselves.
You might find out you actually did descend from a woodpecker.
You're right.
So
what's 23andMe?
it's a genetic.
Find out anything.
It's a DNA kit.
I run from finding out that.
Find out your DNA, dude. You are a woodpecker.
So,
What the hell?
on
I'm
23andMe,
not going down that route.
there's been this
Find out anything.
thing in my family, the Rasmussen side of my family, from all the fathers. Like, I'm firstborn of a firstborn of a twin of a firstborn. Like, and there's like a lot of pressure for producing a male. Like, you get told as like a 12-year-old,
The heir to the family.
your only job
The next generator.
is to keep
The
a male
breeder.
Rasmussen. Yeah. I did 23andMe and found out that we have an unbroken line of male, 1,200 generations of
Firstborn male.
not firstborn, but male to male to male, the paternal haplogroup. I am 217 or 237.
So you into eugenics?
No. I'm into regression. Like, I'm into past life experiences. I'm into reincarnation. I'm into this cycle of souls. I think we keep coming back to this realm to learn stuff, and but I think there's like not as many rules as we like to put on it. Like, I think you can do what you want when you die. I think you can be a guide. I think you can move on. I think you can go to other planets. think you can quit. I think you can come back. I think you can be an animal. I think you can really do whatever the fuck you want.
I want to be a falcon in the next life, I think.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Eat some rats.
What do you want to be, Woody?
What? A squirrel.
Squirrel!
There's
Tell me, what do you want to be?
A raven.
What do you want to be?
Oh man, an animal that I want to be when I come back, a tiger.
Tiger.
There's solitude, and they're powerful, and they show by themselves. I'm kind of a lone wolf, I like solitary. So with the 23andMe, like 1,200 generations back, there's a specimen they dug up that is. They call him VK50, so they call him Viking 50, but he's not a Viking. He's an Ice Age nomad from the Ice Age.
Yeah.
I'm a direct descendant.
No shit, you're like that guy that was in the National Geographic.
My family's been
found this frozen guy.
I'm related.
Yeah.
My family has been in the northern, like the northernmost explorers since it began.
Damn.
They can prove that they went. The first Ice Age exploration, they regressed when it permafrosted again, and they went back again. Like, they basically haven't left Europe.
Your ancestors might have built Stonehenge.
So totally, so my genes are pretty Northern European. So there's a draw to the Nordic pantheon of deities. I identify with those, but I'm a pantheon guy. Like, I have so many. I'm a polytheistic person who I don't even care if a deity has lived in reality. You can create a character and use it as an archetype, and it's powerful, and it doesn't. So I don't really care about the veracity of an archetype or a deed or something that people give energy to, because I think we can empower ourselves through archetypes, whether they are historical figures or not. But I do like a lot of like the Nordic pantheon of deities. I'm a big fan of.
Nice.
So have you had a boy yet?
No. Like, I'm the only one.
So you broke 1,000-year chain?
1,200 years, like, no pressure. I have 2 girls, and they're amazing, and they're good enough for me. And I didn't know that it was like, no, really, have a boy, because, like, we've been doing it since the Ice Age. Like, So, I talked to my wife about it. She's, she has to push it out, so it's like, it's up to her. Right now, it's a no.
Yeah. Well, so I know we've talked about sigilizing. I've been a long-time fan of sigils.
Yeah.
It also mirrors art. Like I said, art is a sigil.
Yeah.
You're buying a sigil. To those that aren't as familiar with sigils, let's kind of explain how a sigil works.
Okay.
Is it something? To me, it's something that's individual and it's a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And you can invoke it, you can endow it, you can put power into it, you can close your eyes and mentally visualize that symbol.
That's apt, I agree.
If you want to elaborate on any of that.
I agree with all of that. I think a good way to understand, like, a beginner sigil, say you have a goal. I want more money.
Yeah.
Take the first letter of each of those words. I-W-M-M.
Yep.
I want more money. Draw a circle, draw an I, draw an M, or I-W-M-M.
Yeah.
That's your sigil. You can charge it with intent. You can charge it with energy. You can ask other people to charge it. You can do sex energy on it. You can jerk off on it if you want to. You can put energy onto it.
Blood on it?
Yeah, drip blood on it. You can charge it however you feel appropriate to make that thing have power.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to forget it. Sometimes.
Yeah.
The general rule is burn it, let it go, get rid of it, forget about it. Me personally, I like to keep them for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I have one where I started with my HVAC trade. It's master of all trades, money always on its way. I didn't want to be limited to one field.
There you go.
And I wanted to be secure for my family. I was doing the Wizard of Ogden gig all day, every day, and starving. I was fine as a bachelor, but when I had a family to feed, it was really, really hard to make ends meet as a tarot reader or a spellcaster, someone who clears properties. There's not a big drive for it in Utah. No. I could probably do better in Portland or Seattle or northern Pacific Northwest area, but I'm in Utah and this is where I love to be. So it got to a point where I needed a day job, and because everybody's at work during the day when I was sitting around not doing anything, so I got into HVAC and learned that trade for a couple years, and then I got into remodel and doing all that, and I didn't want to be limited by one trade, and I wanted security for my family. That's why I'm getting into this. So I made that master of all trades, money always on its way. It's on my wall and I charge it.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what it's about, though. You should have a rechargeable sigil.
Right.
It's not like the old days when wood carvers and print masters would make a print. They would destroy. They would destroy the fucking master.
Because you put it out there, and that's one way to do it. But I don't think I really hate putting limits on things.
Yeah.
I really don't like saying always or never. Or even thinking in a dichotomous way.
Yeah.
Like I really think in life on a continuum, and abstract and not so concrete. There's always an exception.
Yeah.
I do what feels right. With your sigil work, like make a goal.
Yeah.
Make a symbol.
We'll have to do another interview where you and I can go through our sigil process and just maybe help people.
That'd be dope.
Because people, to them, that they don't know what it means.
Right.
But it is a tool that can help people out.
Absolutely. It's a way to focalize energy.
Yeah.
Like you can focus your energy on a symbol.
Yeah.
And make it powerful. And then, I drew a sigil for my a court case, like a custody battle court case.
Oh.
I kept in my wallet forever. I drew a talisman on the front that I lifted from a voodoo book I have. It's about winning a court case. It has a couple serpents and it has a scales, serpents, a heart. It's a justice. It's winning a court case, and on the back of it, you write the name of the person you want to win the court case. Well, instead of writing my name on it, I wrote my daughter's name on it.
Wow, even more powerful.
I'm like, it's not about me versus her mom. It's about my kid.
Yeah.
And I carried that in my wallet. I still have it in my wallet.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder that it's not about me. It's not about me versus her mom. It's about her. And changing my mind on about the court case helped me make the changes I need to make where everybody won.
Yeah.
Everybody ended up winning. She won. It worked. It helped me let go of my grudge or my point or my perspective. It was like this is about her, not me. And that sigil helped me do that. Yeah. Just when I shifted, I was about to write my name, and I was like, no, this is who I really want to win.
Yeah. Have you heard of Austin Spare?
I have not.
Yeah, I'll have to show you. He's old English. He was around the time as Crowley.
Okay.
And he was an artist, amazing artist. He's like one of the most unknown artists, but he was an amazing painter, draftsman. But he also developed his own sigil style, and he has books where he shows you this is how you do it. Interesting stuff. But I'll have to tell you. We'll talk. We can talk all night long.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So out of all, I saw all you got here. What do you think out of all your tools in your tool sheds here?
Yeah.
What's the most powerful tool that you've got to help people?
My icebreaker, my runes, blood money runes. I have taken pennies. It's something that we throw away. We don't want them in our change. We get 4 of them. We're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be something of value.
Can we see how this works?
Yeah, we throw them away. We get bummed on them. And I wanted to take something of little, art to me is taking something of little or no value.
I'm going to take a quick cut beer break.
Are you on?
Yeah. Fired up.
So art to me is taking something of little value or no value and adding energy to it and making something of more value. I think
Yeah.
if you put energy into something cheap and now somebody sees it as value, it's art. Pennies is supposed to be something, a markation of value, and we hate them.
Yeah.
We throw them, we toss them, and so it's a value lesson to me. I took pennies, I wanted to change them, I wanted to add a little love to them and make them a talisman. And so what I've done is I go through a whole process for my blood money runes, where I paint them and I carve runes into them, and I'm thinking of every one I'm carving, I'm thinking about what it means and charging it with the intent to give them away. All these are free. All of them are pennies. I hate pennies too. I used to. I changed them to give them away. It's my way of really paying it forward on a budget. I can afford to give these away. You can't beat the price.
Yeah.
So what you do with this is my most powerful tool because I use it the most. This is how I really had started just being successful being the wizard, because not everybody's just going to come up to you and pay $20 for your cards, for a card reading. You got to have an icebreaker. So what I do is I just have people pick one. Pick whatever rune you're drawn to.
I'm going to dig deep if you don't mind.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm going to go down to the bottom of the barrel.
Your energy is going to draw the rune that is right for you. And I'll tell you what it means. You picked Rito. Rito stands for the letter R. The key word associated with that is spiritual journey. That's what that means. Is when you pull that rune, it's indicative that the lessons that you encounter in life have a spiritual, or the obstacles you encounter have a spiritual lesson to learn from them. As you encounter challenges, as you encounter hurdles in your way, the quicker you can find the meaning, the quicker you can find how it's a spiritual lesson, the quicker they'll dissipate. When you realize why you're going through that, the troubles are going to alleviate because you're on a spiritual journey. The universe is seeing you as a spiritual advisor, or a spiritual person who's learning spiritual lessons. There's a deeper meaning to your challenges.
I take that meaning, and I also spread that meaning, basically, to other people too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's yours to keep. That's
yours
to keep. Yeah, they're meant to give away. It's very well.
Thank you very much. Man.
And people can. When I give it away, it's up to you whether it has value or not. It's the beauty of it. It's like, for some people, they're super, super meaningful, and they keep them, and they have them on their altar, and they send me pictures like, I have every one of these you've ever given me. Some people just toss them, and that's on them. It's like, I put the energy into them, and if it means something, it means
something. I like that, man.
May I try?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to do one for all of you guys.
There we go. Go big. Go big. Oh, there it is. Which one? You.
All right, let's see what you got here. Nice.
Vegas.
You got Issa.
Oh,
Issa stands for the letter I. And the keyword is ice. It represents stillness.
I'm calling myself the Iceman lately.
Stagnation. It feels like things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like them to. It feels like things are stuck, things are slow. It's like you have you know how things should be, and the world is moving too slow. All the cogs are moving too slow, and you feel like you're just stuck. And so that rune comes to people who are super advanced, and it's saying you're right. It is moving slow. With Issa, think of a glacier. A glacier is a slow-moving river of ice. It is gonna hit the ocean. We're speeding them up. We're melting them. But aside from carbon stuff, you can't really do much to a glacier. It's pretty solid, and it's slow, and it's gonna get there in time, but there's not much we can do about it while it's there. That's the same thing with you and your goals. You're gonna get there. You don't have to deviate course. You don't have to change your direction. You have to ride it out. While things are stuck and slow and frozen, rejuvenate, recuperate, relax, recharge yourself. It's time to rest. That's what Issa comes up for. It's like people are so engaged in getting shit done they need to slow down and rest, or it's going to catch up with them. Like if you go and go and go and go, you're going to wear yourself out. So ESA makes you slow down, and it makes you freezes you in ice so that you can don't get too stressed out. Allow yourself to rejuvenate, relax. It's going to happen. You don't have to change your plans. You don't have to change stuff. You just have to just chill.
Damn, I want that one.
Thank you. Sounds good.
You ready for yours?
Yeah. Let me pause. I got it. No, I want to leave it there in for the editing. Okay, my turn.
What he pulls. He doesn't want to know what he
Whatever.
It's okay. I want it like the other one. These real pennies?
Yep.
All right.
Let's
This
see
was cool.
Let's see what you got there.
It's like got.
You pulled a blank.
A blank?
Yes. Now that's okay. It's called weird. What's crazy?
W! The weird!
It is the W.
Wow!
It's a weird.
Wowee!
Weird is spelled W-Y-R-D, and it's debate
You can't even divide him because he's just out in outer space.
No, it's actually a very, very powerful rune. There's a lot of controversy around this rune. Some practitioners don't include it in their.
There was such thing as weird W that you just said. I was gonna get.
Hey man. Double wizard.
Practitioners who
Triple wizard.
there's practitioners who think it shouldn't be included in the Elder Futhark of the runes, but I like the symbolism. The reason being is it's a fate rune, and there's already a fate rune in the it's Perthro is the fate rune, the good luck rune, but this is a different type of fate. This is the blank rune. It is.
That means the canvas is blank and it's ready to be painted.
Exactly. This
You
is
can
the best
paint your
part.
canvas. You can
It's
do
the
anything you
universe
want to your
giving you
canvas.
authorship to write the story you want. You don't have to follow a script. You don't have to follow anybody else's role.
I gotcha.
You don't have to do anything but be your authentic self.
I've been trying to ditch my family for years.
It's really follow what resonates within you. The universe is asking you to write your story. It's not asking you to follow anybody else's previous story or the what it's follow your path. You're a trailblazer.
Yeah.
It's a blank page.
I like it.
Write the story you want to write.
Hell yeah.
And so those are really helpful. They are an introduction.
Yeah.
That's just a letter.
Amazing.
There's so much symbolism, and I think the real power is that you guys chose me.
Yeah.
I didn't choose that for you. It's your energy that picked those runes. That's how I do my tarot cards. I do it in a system where you pick your cards. Your energy draws those cards to your reading, because I think if we can tap into chance, we can tap into subjectivity, we can tap into just being open to seeing what happens.
Yeah.
The universe will speak to us. If I were to pick a rune for you, I don't think it would be as genuine. I don't think it'd hit the mark as much.
Yeah.
But when people pick the rune themselves, they're like, damn, that's exactly what I needed.
How do we steer clear of the dark power of the power of suggestion? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I do, because
sometimes a lot of this is just power of suggestion.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So how do you navigate between power of suggestion and real divinatory magic or
now
authorship?
Right. So it's a great question. The suggestion, and people, there are people out there in the field and doing this work who are manipulative.
Yeah.
Who are trying to usurp power and control over people, and they just want your money.
Yeah.
I think really it has to do with where you're coming from. What's your true desire? It's your intent.
Yeah.
Really. I think it's in the practitioner themselves. Are they being open to receiving a message, or are they trying to give a message? Are you standing on your pulpit, on your soapbox with your agenda, or are you just going to tell them what that card means? Are you going to let go of fear, let go of self-doubt?
I know artists and people that pay thousands of dollars to go sit beneath some guru in Portugal, and it just seems so fake, what do we call it? The tuner?
Tuner.
the tuner, the charlatan, you
Right.
know, like it's like why it's almost like I'm cool. I went and saw this so
Right.
and so guru.
It's
like,
a badge, yeah.
It's
like,
yeah, where like I think you and I are kind of on the same line where it's like you become your own guru.
Exactly.
You find it yourself. Like you don't have to pay
yeah.
$5,000 to go to Portugal.
The joke is on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
I completely agree with that. Like I think that I'm really against hierarchy.
mhm.
I'm really against setting yourself above other people or making people dependent on you.
Yeah.
I'm really against psychic dependence. Like if I'm not helping a client and they're coming to me all the time, I'm gonna ask them not to come to me anymore because I'm not helping you. The same cards
Yeah.
are coming up. You're not growing. You're not progressing. I'm not helping, so don't give me any more money. I've done that to a couple people who just wanted me to make decisions for them, and that's not the role I play. I'm like, I'm really trying. The tarot is a system of cards that really it's supposed to be a microcosm of the macrocosm. It's supposed to be the human experience. It's supposed to be all the positive things, all the negative things, like what it means to be human and where are you at in all this, in this big thing, you know, like where are you at right now?
Yeah.
And that's what I use it to really navigate where people are at right now, let their energy pick their cards. And there's a lesson to every single card. There isn't a bad card. It's all about, okay, this is...
Could that also be the power of suggestion, though, in a mild way?
Absolutely. I wouldn't...
I mean, every card actually applies to everybody.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
you could
absolutely.
pick
And
any
different-
card and,
yeah.
it applies to somebody.
Sure. Absolutely.
You
And in a different time of their life, you're going to go through every card. That's just what it means to be human. It's the shuffle.
Yeah.
It's
Pick a
opening
different
it up
kind.
to a shuffle. It's saying, I didn't pick these cards. I honor what the energy did.
Yeah.
Like the way I split them up, like I'll have somebody pick a card for themselves. Like I'll have them, actually I have them pick between at least 9 tarot decks. What tarot deck resonates with you? They choose a tarot deck that they resonate with. They're welcome to look through them. I don't say don't touch the cards. I don't do anything like that. I clean my cards. You know, I energetically clean them as tools to work with.
Yeah.
And I allow people to just pick what feels right. What kind of images are you into? Do you like this style? Do you like that style? You know, are you a Waite fan? Are you a Crowley fan? Or you know, whose style do you like? This is about you.
Yeah.
After they choose their deck, I have them choose a card. Go through this deck, look through it, take as much time as you want, find a card that is you. It's called a querent, it's the questioner. Find a card you identify with.
Yeah.
They go through, they pick their card, this is me. They don't have to know why. It could just be the image, it could be a word, it could be anything that's salient, anything that strikes them like this is me. I don't have to know why. Then I take that card and I tell them like this tarot deck itself represents the human experience. It represents the universe. It represents the world.
Different stages of life.
Yeah, it's the
Or
world.
different stages of eternity.
Right.
For all we know.
Right. This card represents you. This deck represents the world. Shuffle yourself into the world. Where do you fit in? Shuffle yourself in there until you feel like you're right where you need to be.
To me, it feels like a really power of suggestion kind of thing, but a positive power of suggestion.
Could be.
Rather than like an organized religion power of suggestion where it's like, you gotta do this and that to get this. And like, where.
It could be. The trick is its accuracy.
Yeah.
The way it doesn't fail. Like it's freaky the way people will pick cards that are just exactly right for what they're going through, and I don't have to know at all what they're going through. I try not to pry. I try not. The less I know, the better, because I'm just trying to read their cards.
Yeah.
And so after they shuffle themselves in the world, I divide the cards up into sacred geometry into 8 piles.
There you go.
It's symbolic for the 8-spoked wheel, an ancient talisman invoking the power of the
It's
sun.
also the 8-spoke wheel of Buddhism.
Right? Correct. It's invoking the power of the sun to shine its light on the reading.
Are we out of batteries?
No, I just.
We good?
Yeah, great.
Basically,
You're
to
wonderful.
charge the, to bless the reading that nobody's trying to manipulate anybody. We're just trying to discover.
Yeah.
It's also symbolic for the 8 seasonal celebrations of Druids, Pagans, and Wiccans, representing the cyclic nature of life. How everything comes in a season. Good times, bad times, in between times. It's about celebrating what time you're in. It's not about waiting. It's about getting the most out of wherever you're at right now. And the
Like
third,
today.
Exactly. The third form of symbolism is a compass. Your choice in the matter. You can choose your adventure here. What do you want to do?
There's many directions to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
After I divide those up into those 8 piles, I have them look through the piles and choose a pile to look through it to see if their card is in it. It's an energy test. I'm having them identify with the card, their energy goes onto that card, becomes special, highlighted.
Crazy.
They shuffle that card into the deck, their energy goes into the whole deck. Damn. That one card is still special. Then I mess with it. I divide it all up. My energy gets mixed in there. And then I sit there and ask them to differentiate between my energy, their life, and their purpose.
Jesus, dude.
So I judge where they're at. How long does it take you to find yourself? What numerological pile does that mean? Did you pick yourself 3rd? What does 3 mean? You did pick yourself 8th? You know, where are you at in your priority list? Those 7 piles are your life. You have this going on. You have that going on. You have this person.
But how far does the rabbit hole go?
Pretty deep.
I know, but couldn't that just be like OCD, like on a mental level? Sometimes if you go too deep, like how far does this rabbit hole go? Of like,
it hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
always
I'm
practicing.
continually moving, learning. I'm continually adding to my practice. I'm continually trying different forms of divination. Like I do all kinds of stuff. The stuff I offer isn't everything I practice.
Yeah.
Like I offer things for money, what I know I'm really good at, what I know I have down. I practice everything. Like, nice. You know, I try it all. Like I'm learning, I'm a student. When I get to a point where I'm like, I know how to do that, I'm comfortable charging people for it, you know, like it's time and energy. It's an energy exchange. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be money.
You got a great energy. Curiosity strikes the conversation. What do you think about the energy right here in this building?
The studio's old, and I really like you explained to me the history of Baldwin radio, where they invented headphones there. So it's an assembly line. It's got old work energy. Yeah. You know, people were punching their clock here. But there's also a churning of creativity that it feels like it's harnessing angst, it's harnessing the grind, it's harnessing just the everyday monotony of what an assembly line would be. Yeah. And it's channeling it into artistic expression. Like it's a very, very bohemian. Like I feel just like it's a very, very art, like if you imagine, like Ann Arbor, Michigan. It makes me feel like Ann Arbor. It makes me feel like Ann Arbor being here. Ann Arbor's where the University of Michigan is. It's just a college town, but it's tons of arts, tons of just a lot of artists, a lot of free thinkers. And it has this feel. It has this feel here. Like it immediately made me think of Ann Arbor, Michigan, pulling up into this sweet spot. So it feels like it's there's always residual energy in a space. Like, you don't have to be dead to be affecting a space. Like, you can live in an apartment and have fights every day and have a lot of tension in that apartment, be so focused on the fights and the tension and shit that happened in that apartment, you're still affecting shit there. Yeah. Like, other people could be living there, but you're so psychically attached to it that you're causing the paranormal activity. It doesn't even have to be dead people, I don't think. I think we're very, very powerful beings that if a spirit without a body can manifest stuff in this realm, if it can learn how to channel energy and throw an object across the room, why aren't we that powerful? Because I would say that we are too. And we just don't really realize it because we're so locked into our senses that we forget that there's more outside of our five senses.
This has been a great interview. We're gonna have to have you back because we could go.
Everybody comes back.
Yeah, I could just talk. Do
you guys have any questions? Any questions for our guests?
Where do we find, like, or do you have a scheduled place you go to all the time?
I'm available for appointments for like tarot readings and like consultations for spell work and stuff like that at Vibes, evenings and weekends.
Vibes is a
A
place.
store in Ogden. Yeah,
Ogden.
it's by the Newgate Mall in Ogden. Like
Okay.
that's where that's my home base for private readings. Honestly, though, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Instagram, because I'll go to your house, I'll go to your property. If I'm not working on a home, I'm wizarding. I'm
Will you
wizarding
meet
or
a hot
being
chick
dad.
in a hotel room?
What's that?
Will you meet a hot chick in a hotel room?
I've done that. I'll read her cards. I'll shake her hand and I'll leave.
I'm in. We can go for it.
You got anything you want to ask?
Oh,
Unmentioned one? Come on, go deep, dude.
Who's your quotient in the tarot? Who do you choose yourself?
If I had to choose between, who's my card?
Yeah, who would be your card?
Oh, man, it's always a magician.
The magician.
I shouldn't say always, but more often than not, I just want to be playing my role. I've put this label on myself, and so I'm carrying that mantle. So often I'm like, I'll pick the magician in my own reading just to make sure that am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I, and I read the cards around it just to kind of keep me on point as being that magician.
And how much of this has been like an alter ego? Or is this no
It's
alter ego
me.
at all?
This is my authentic self. In fact, I was doing a pilot show for a ghost hunting. Like I also do ghost hunting. I was doing a pilot,
Like I said,
and the producer was like, "How do you get into character?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I'm me. I'm just the Wizard of Ogden. Like all I'm doing is being myself. Like."
Do you have any alter egos, or is this? Do you have to tap into anything?
Well, I'm a Scorpio, so no one ever gets all sides of me. I'm not gonna, there's, certain friends experience a certain side of me. There's friends who only see me paint. There's friends who only see me smoke weed. There's friends who,
Do you smoke a lot of weed?
Dude, so much.
And you dabble in the psychedelics, I'm sure.
I have. I like mushrooms occasionally. I'll go through about every 6 months. I'll do some mushroom trips for a spell. But weed's my daily. Like weed makes me really grounded. It's the one thing that I've used for my own mental health that hasn't had side effects. I can control it. I can stop when I need to. I've been on probation. I've been to jail. I've had to deal with
Let's not go into that.
I've had to deal with the legal ramifications of it.
Yeah.
Clean, but I always go back to it because there's so much with it. It's spiritual to me. It's part of my ritual. It's on my altar. It's part of my spiritual practice. It's part of my mental health. It's part of my daily routine. Am I high all day? No. But do I smoke when I get home? Fuck yeah, I do. And do I smoke all night? Pretty much. Do I smoke all day on the weekends? Yeah, kind of. I like weed.
Let's switch the conversation.
Sure.
So I'm gonna ask one last question.
Okay.
What's your favorite number, real quick?
My favorite number?
Just real quick.
Yeah, favorite number. Let's do that.
Honestly, what's funny, 11 and 7. That's my birthday. This is episode
Cool.
11.
There we
So,
go.
There we go. We found the connection.
Yeah,
That's craps.
it is.
Yeah.
It's also my birthday.
My
Oh,
question is, what is your opinion of the left-hand path?
I am a middle path
Okay.
guy, so I'm a friend.
Friend of both sides.
Well, honestly, I prefer
It's very Buddhistic, by the way.
I prefer left-hand path kind of more than right-hand path because people. So I'm against polarization.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the esoteric mystery schools, if you want to make subservient people, you polarize them. You get them lined up all the way with the left or lined up all the way with
What
the
we
right.
see today, right now in America, basically.
Exactly. Everybody's polarized to one side, and it's I'm very middle path.
Power in polarization.
It's the alchemical wedding is what I'm into. It's the marriage of light and dark. It's
I like
the
that.
combined
I like that.
I've listened to a couple episodes of this podcast, and Satanism has come up a lot, and the way I view it is first off, I'm a polytheist, so I believe in all kinds of deities and powerful beings. But psychologically, I think that we have been trained to view our own inner duality as as external beings. We've created our own goodness and our own evilness into external beings, and we've given those external beings power, and it's really what's going on in here. And so I'm about understanding that I got some dark side, and I got some light side.
But we shouldn't use that to manipulate other people.
Correct.
We should not use our knowledge or our magic to manipulate. Like, to me, the left-hand path is the people that are kind of more egocentric, that are like cursing and like, you know, like that kind of shit. To me, it's all about it's just like,
it can be selfish. It can be selfish, and I think that can be apt definition of it. It could be self-centered magic.
Yeah.
But I think that's okay to be self-centered here and there.
Go through a phase.
Yeah, well, like you have needs, and my understanding of the middle path is take what you need, and give what you can. Nothing more.
See,
when you take more
in the realms of magic, that's very applicable, and it also mirrors the path of the Buddha.
Right.
That's what Buddha did. He's like,
I'm a fan of Buddha.
Yeah. Like he was like, I'm over here like starving myself to death, and then I'm over here like drinking myself to death. Then he's just like right in the middle.
Zen. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'm very, very balanced. I try to be very balanced.
I think that's the way to go. I call it the gray path.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm great. Like I have friends who are all light and love, and it's like, it's not realistic to me. Like, it doesn't resonate. Like, I want to be positive. I want to uplift. I want to be a good person. And I want to make a good impact on this world. I also know that some shit's ugly, and sometimes you gotta curse a motherfucker.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta Sometimes you gotta curse a motherfucker. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta curse a motherfucker. We'll end it on that, dude.
Yes.
We could talk all night long.
I could hang out with you guys.
You sure can.
Anytime you're in the neighborhood, dude.
Dude, I'm...
Say goodbye.
Yeah.
You know I like goodbyes.
Dude, thank you guys for having me.
You don't have to leave. I'm still chill out.
Nobody's saying goodbye to the camera here.
Yeah, goodbye, camera.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Sometimes you gotta curse.
Stop fucking filming me.
T-shirt that says that.
Sometimes you gotta curse, motherfucker.
We went over the line with the shovel, making deals with the devil. We used to get in trouble, turn up the trouble, distortion, raising high with the rebel. Then when I see the sight in the sunshine, and the girl at night, used to be a fun, super sight. And one used to never go to be inside when it comes from Cadillac and side. That's cataract. Can you get it? Like a top and scared it. Like an alligator coming out of the river, coming up and eat you. And an hour later, one used to see it. This bro came inside. And screamed in my hood bag in the back of the car. Really scared down. For the man. And fuck.